What is up, you guys? It is your boy Lucius with Toad Trap Tribe here, back with another installment of that Naruto Isekai Ultimate Survival Guide. And real quick, guys, I just want to thank you so much for going along this whole series with me. It's been a heck of a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie, and it is always great to see you guys interact with content in the comment section, and just say how much you like the series. It really means a lot to me and the channel. So, thank you so much. Let's get right into the video. Okay, guys. So, where we last left off, we left the Hidden Leaf Village with Naruto and others because we need to capture Sasuke Uchiha and bring him back to the Hidden Leaf Village. Now, there are a couple of roadblocks in the form of the Sound Ninja, but the Genin are gracious enough to offer their service in Naruto's time of need so that he can chase down Sasuke and they can worry about the grunts, essentially. You, on the other hand, are faced with the task of fighting Kimimaro, the leader of the Sound Five himself. Kimimaro was able to inflict significant damage to you in the last episode, and the patch notes just dropped, bro. You got nerfed, alright? You're not moving the same. Enough so that you were saved by the bell when Rock Lee came in and delivered that classic dynamic entry to Kimimaro to knock him off balance before he could finish the job. Now, remember, I had talked to you guys about nerfing Kimimaro's illness in the last episode. So if you're not all caught up with that, then you know the drill. Go back and watch that before you come here so that you're all caught up. I mean, because I just really can't stand seeing all these ninja prodigies getting taken away by some mysterious illness. And the medicine wasn't great in that time period. So it's not like Itachi or Kimimaro could just walk up to Tsunade's office, knock on the door and say, "Hey, can you get rid of my chakra tumor, please?" You already know she's going to tell them to rub some dirt on it and get the fuck out of her office. Maybe that's getting off a little easy, but we all know what happens in the original story. Kimimaro ends up disconnecting during an online match and ends up getting banned from the Earth server. Now he's chilling in Lucifer's lobby. But let's get back to the action. The truth is, Rock Lee is performing admirably, and for somebody who was told that their ninja career was over, he looks really good out there. But I have a question for you guys. Do you think the story of Rock Lee, especially so in part 1 of the Naruto series, is more akin to like the principles that the show really wants to hammer in and establish over, you know, Naruto Uzumaki himself? As a true, like, underdog story, Rock Lee is the talentless loser who had to work hard for everything. And if you think about it, Naruto has a lot of gifts, and he's actually pretty freaking talented. But you let me know in the comment section if you think Rock Lee would be a good protagonist for this series, or why you think he wouldn't be enough. But you let me know in the comment section. I think it's an interesting question. Shout out to Plague of Gripes for making that Naruto video and putting the thought in my head. Highly recommend it. But let's get back to Rock Lee versus Kimimaro. Rock Lee begins his fight with Kimimaro, and Rock Lee is performing really well for somebody who is coming off a career-ending injury. He does especially well with the Drunken Fist. As we know, he starts to match up with Kimimaro a little bit better. However, when Kimimaro starts bringing out that Kage Genkai and developing that curse mark just a little bit, it becomes too much for Rock Lee. And I can speculate that he'd probably do a lot better if he wasn't so banged up. But it's the reality of what we have right now. And that's when Lee decides to risk opening the first gate, and a wave of familiarity crashes over you. And once again, Lee reaches that new and impressive speed that you have a lot of trouble even keeping up with. Much to the chagrin of Lee and yourself, however, Kimimaro's unique defense totally negates Lee's heightened taijutsu, and Kimimaro is quick to punish the opening his parry creates, leaving Lee motionless on the ground and stunned. This would be around the time in the main continuity that Gaara shows up to help Rock Lee. And talk about a blast from the past. Gaara shows up in some brand new drip that is, in my opinion, one of the cooler costumes of the series. It really does a good job of making him look a bit more mature since the last time we see him, but it's not just his appearance, because Gaara's power has grown as well. He's making light work of Kimimaro for a good portion, and even when Kimimaro activates his curse mark fully to the second state, Gaara is still working him. I don't think it's a stretch to say that if Gaara never ran out of chakra like he did in the main show, he might have zero-diffed Kimimaro. I mean, I only remember Kimimaro ever landing one attack on Gaara that entire time that wasn't just completely stopped by Sand Shield or something similar. And even when that attack connected, Gaara had his sand armor on. So, with all that being said, unfortunately for Gaara this time around, Kimimaro's not going to just expire after taking the brunt of the Sand Ninja's offense, but it is amazing to watch Gaara up close. Maneuvering all of this sand with the ease and precision that he does is mind-blowing. And it really reminds you why you would always be put off whenever you were in the same room with him. It is a brilliant one-on-one clash. You're glad you were matched up against somebody else during the exams. Let's just leave it at that. Kimimaro attempts to break through a particularly stout sand shield after advancing his curse mark to the second state, and as we know, he gets completely walled. Once Kimimaro is buried into the ground, we all breathe a collective sigh of relief. We're floating away on Gaara's sand, but Kimimaro, being the party pooper that he is, decides to drop in. He basically manifests himself out of the bracken dance that he casts earlier, and in true horror movie film fashion, he is lurking over the party, ready to deliver the final blow. But we're not done yet. But now it's time to revisit that seal that you were given in episodes past. This situation seems desperate enough. Not a whole lot of options between the three of you here, so it's either put up or shut up time. The seal that is located in the center of your chest begins to glow. It feels as though somebody has rested a hot coal on top of your torso and just let it sit there and burn. And while that heat wells up, it starts to run parallel to a new emotion: rage. Not only the pain of that burning coal feeling, but the anger you felt collectively all this time that you've been in a situation where you couldn't help yourself or you couldn't help a teammate. It all rushes back. You begin to realize that it's these feelings of weakness and anger that are feeding this cursed seal. Tell you one thing, the Frog Sage is a crazy son of a bitch, alright? Not only has he sealed a large swath of that demon chakra inside of you, let's just say he somehow managed to concoct the whole thing. And you'll see what I mean by that very soon. It becomes apparent that your skin is slowly changing color, and the pressure emanating from the chakra that is being released from you is enough to stall Kimimaro so that he can't just outright kill you all right then and there. And as he's frozen, seemingly aghast by the transformation that's taken place before him, you begin to develop some horns, similar to the ones of the demon ogre that you fought a few episodes ago. Now, if you're not caught up on that, that was our little filler arc detour that happened post-tuning exam arc. So you're gonna want to go back and watch that if you're not familiar. I will, of course, link that for you. But your harrowing transformation continues. You've got horns. Now you have fangs. Your skin turns a deep shade of red, like a bright crimson. A warning, if you will. Don't come any closer. This area is off limits. And the message appears to be received well amongst the trio of onlookers. What happens next is the wounds you sustained in your fight with Kimimaro are healing, earning a look of surprise from the typically stoic Gaara. You flex your arm, admiring your new body, and raise your head towards Kimimaro, who is determined not to be intimidated by your new form. He strikes at you with Clematis Flower, but is stopped once again when he sees that you actually caught the attack in midair. You apply some pressure, ensuring that Kimimaro cannot escape from your grasp, and with one arm securing his arm, your other arm rears back and delivers a shattering punch dead to his face. A sick crunch quickly follows after as you release his arm, allowing him to slump forward. Gaara's sand cloud begins to descend, however, as it seems that the lack of chakra no longer allows him to maintain it. You look upwards at Kimimaro's motionless body, and You almost miss your opportunity to dodge as another branch of bone races towards the three of you. It dawns on you that Kimimaro must be alive and well, and you hop off the sand cloud and rush back to the spot he cornered you all in earlier, your new power-up emboldening you. Once you've reached the spot, though, he's nowhere to be found. But with your head on a swivel, you hear the telltale creaking of bones signaling his re-emergence, and you're able to throw your guard up just as a nasty clematis flower crashes into you. You spiral into a nearby bone tower, but amazingly, you aren't harmed at all. In fact, whatever minor damage was dealt begins to heal immediately. You realize your advantage and decide that enough is enough. Using Flame Cloak, you create 4 monstrous flaming arms to maneuver through the forest of bones. And once you believe you climbed high enough, you await the ambush. But there's nothing but stillness. You hatch an idea and your arms actually branch out into more arms, latching on to multiple bone towers. The idea here is that you'll be able to tell exactly which one Kimimaro is hiding inside of. And just when you're about to give up on your crapshoot theory after waiting a few more seconds, you feel like one of them is vibrating. It's subtle, but it's there, and you decide to take a risk. You catapult yourself to the pillar of bone and, completely disregarding the spike at the top, you bring your hands together and swing them down in a double axe handle. The force is so devastating that you axe reverse all the way down to the ground from the top of the bone structure, shattering it completely into dust along the way. And at the bottom of the wreckage, who else but Kimimaro, completely reverted back to base, completely crushed. Safe to say, while difficult to scale back the power in this form, it is certainly useful. Therefore, the big climactic showdown with Kimimaro is complete. You've killed him. And that means that Naruto is caught up to Sasuke by now, and they've had their fight already. Kakashi should be on the way to retrieve them, and lo and behold, you all need medical attention. Once things calm down a bit, while you were healing in this new form, it has taken a tremendous tax on your body. So much so that Tsunade herself recommends a lot of bed rest, to which you don't put up much of a fight with. But, surprise, surprise, Yabanako and Adamugu actually end up greeting you in the hospital. They still seem a little upset about the way things played out the last time you met, but they're nothing but happy that you're alright. After all is said and done. Thus seems a happy ending if you ask me, but I'm gonna ask you guys, what happens next? Do we take our talents to Naruto Shippuden? Do we end the series here? You guys let me know down in the comment section. And if I think enough people really want a continuation of the series, I will definitely do it. But again, guys, it's been amazing putting out this content for you, even though I know a lot of times it's been late or, you've had your notification box empty, which I apologize for, but thank you so much for tuning in every time that I've uploaded one of these. It's been awesome. And just as always, I love interacting with you guys in the comment section. So let me know what you thought of the series as a whole. Do you want it to continue? All that good stuff. And without further ado, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you back with more videos. So please subscribe.